everybody. Welcome to the first Big Bad broadcast. Thank you for tuning in. This is our first Hit Point Press stream under that banner, and our first time showing off one of our big bads. You've all got to know King Blrrk a little bit, apparently, from their starting crawl there, so that's pretty exciting. Yeah, we've got an excellent group of guests here, and I'm going to get them all to introduce themselves soon. But first, I just want to quickly mention one of the reasons we started when we started the streaming when we did is because it's Ennies season. For anyone who doesn't know about Ennies, it's sort of the closest thing tabletop gaming has to the Oscars, and we have a thing that's nominated. Our free RPG day supplement from last year called Wakeworm's Fury, which is a little adventure, little mini adventure for Humblewood, our cute burb campaign setting. We'd love if you would go to take a look at it. It's actually free on our site right now, as is King Blrrk, the big bad that we're going to be telling a tale of today. So one of the mods, if you can put the link there in the chat. But yeah, if you can go to the Ennies site, head down to the best free game / product category, and maybe if you like Humblewood and you like what we've seen, if you take a look at everything, because there's a lot of good stuff. A lot of my favorite games are nominated for some cool stuff this year, and you can put a little one beside, whatever you might like. This is the first of 3 shills that you will hear over this episode, but I'll make them shorter and shorter as we go along. So yeah, if you like us, we're also up for what is it? Favorite fan favorite publisher. So lots of great publishers to choose from, but if we're on the list somewhere, we would surely appreciate it. All right, so we're going to dive right in, and we're going to have everyone just quickly introduce themselves and name their characters and things like that, and then we're going to jump into our story. So let's start with Paladin. Why don't you introduce yourself and give us a little snippet of your character, their class, and all that stuff.
This was no way the order that we were told or suggested.
I mean going in reverse order. This was the... Am I wrong?
Reverse was at the end. Jordan, dang it!
So I've been sitting here like can empty.
Oh no, yeah, but I'm going backwards clockwise from you so that it lands on me as the last one. Oh, I'm Jordan. My name's Jordan. I'm the first on the list, and my name is Jordan. And I'm going to be the GM for the night. I'm going to play all the characters that these 4 goofballs are not playing, but including the king himself, King Blrrk. I don't understand the order things go in. That's my big character flaw. So the next person up on the list is Kat.
Hi, I'm Kat Kruger. I will be playing Moxie Smolder. She is an arcane trickster rogue.
Alrighty. Next up, if I'm correct, is Dave.
Hey everybody, I am Dave, and today I will be playing Traven, the wizard who, likes to be in the back, bleeds in others.
Charlene, you're up next.
Hey everybody, I'm Char. My pronouns are she, they, and I will be playing Malasha, the Tabaxi monster slayer ranger. Super hyped to be here.
Alrighty. And last but not least, Paladin.
Hi there, I'm Paladin, and today I'm playing Kevius. I don't want to be touched. Please don't hit me.
Uh-oh.
Like generally good advice, I think, if you're playing D&D, just to not get hit, to be honest. But that's just going to make me try extra hard. Alrighty. So, the story of today, I think I've said everything that I need to say. Yeah, I think we're good. All right, so the story of today, we're introducing you all to King Blrrk, who is one of the big bads in our Big Bad Booklets series. And each of those booklets sort of contains like a boss monster that you can drop into D&D. And so I've taken all of the story and the fun stuff that people are writing, and I've sort of put together a little one-shot for everyone. Our characters today are working for what we're calling the Big Bad Bureau. If you can imagine a large interdimensional organization that monitors and makes sure that big bads don't step over a line. Their philosophy is that big bads are a necessity in the cosmos, because you can't have a hero without a big bad. But sometimes the big bads get a little out of hand, and they got to be taken down a peg. And that's when the big bad bureau is sent in to do that. You aren't necessarily killing the big bads. Sometimes it gets to that point, and they need to be removed. But often you are weakening them or talking them off whatever ledge or issue they've got. Which isn't always easy when sometimes your villains are giant werewolf giants and snooty vampires and all these types of things. So where you have been sent today, a portal has been opened, and you just sort of step out onto the street of the smallish, medium-sized village of Ennis. And Ennis is kind of imagine like a small French town, very like quaint. There's little outside cafes everywhere, and then there's a handful of huge restaurants that are just, they're bigger than any residence. They're bigger than the mayor's residence. You don't even, from day to day, you four don't know necessarily what world you're on at any given time, because the portal open. Your job is, you're handed the booklet for the big bad. The portal opens up, and you're kind of given a bit of time to ask questions, and then you're pushed through. So you don't even know where you are. Could be the Forgotten Realms today. It could be Eberron. But right now it looks like a little French town that just happens to have a bunch of fancy creatures wandering around in it. As soon as you stepped out, there is a smell of like baked goods and delicious food wafting through the air. And it's nice. You can't imagine that this place has ever been plagued by a big bad, or that it is still around and not been destroyed by a big bad, because it's so cute and so quaint. It's the perfect target. But something must be up for you to have been sent here. So we're going to flash back as you step and you're smelling this. We're going to zoom back to you standing around the war table, basically back at the Big Bad Bureau, and your boss, Chief Agent Stowler, who is a very large green dragonborn it has like a wand and a holster under one arm, and his sleeves are rolled up, and his top button is undone, and his tie is loose, and he looks like he's 2 days from retirement. You know, he's that kind of boss. And he is shoving this booklet over towards you that has this highly detailed rendering of this gelatinous cube. But it's got an expression, like a kind of a vacant expression carved into its face, and a tilted gold crown sitting out of the top of its head. And he shoves this over to you, and he says, "That's your target. Self-proclaimed King Blrrk."
Self-proclaimed? Does he have no friends? No?
I think he chose the title for himself when he absorbed the gem that made him smart. It's all in the booklet. You know, you can reference our library anytime. There's thousands of big bads, you know. I think you would do a little research before now.
So
It's
research happens now.
As long as it happens.
Who gave it the crown?
These are questions you might have to ask Blrrk himself, because it's unsure how he got to the point that he's at. He's sort of become a minor mover and shaker in the crime world in a little town called Ennis. Kind of got his fingers or pseudopods in a lot of different pies, sometimes in a literal sense. He's kind of good for the ecosystem, and I mean that in a way that they have the cleanest sewers that you've ever seen in Ennis. So he usually sticks to himself as long as he can get his hands on, you know, some of the finer things in life. But he stepped over the bounds today. Ennis is known for a wine festival, and apparently he's upset. He's upset that about something, how it's run, or that he wasn't let in. The mayor was in a tizzy when they sent the sending message, but look, you got to get down there. You got to figure out what's going on, and you got to get back the judges from the wine contest. Blrrk kidnapped them.
Hostages. Oh my.
I certainly hope there's still hostages.
You might have led with that.
Well, I was getting there.
When you say cleanest sewers, you
I
aren't
mean-
saying clean sewers.
From what I understand, I mean you can eat the delicious food of Ennis off of them. They're so clean.
Unadvisable, I should say. Completely unadvisable.
It's probably
is at
been a
that
while
point?
since. Oh, sorry, Traven. Can you?
Oh,
I didn't-
would they still be sewers at that point if they're that clean? That sounds refreshing. Can we call it a river?
I guess they're squeaky clean tunnels. This is academic. And he pulls a little stub of the cigar out of his mouth and puts it out on an ashtray on the table. Blrrk's overstepped the line. He's dragged some people from Ennis down to his lair, and you gotta set him straight. Don't get rid of them. Those sewers are really important to the tourism in Ennis, because other sewers just it smells and all this kind of stuff.
How are sewers pivotal to tourist?
They're so clean, people want to go down and see them.
So you can have sewer snacks.
That's right.
Very well-known sewer snacks, apparently.
There's a
They have a
market for
whole-
this.
They have a whole campaign about eat off the sewers, it's fine kind of thing. So just bring those 3 home. That's the important thing. The 3 judges. Find out why he did it. Try and smooth things over with the blob. We
Do
have
we know anything about these judges?
The mayor has all of the information that you need. The mayor of Ennis. She's going to meet you there once you arrive. Look, this is like a normal day for all of you. Talking to a gelatinous cube.
No.
Gelatinous cube.
Yeah.
The ooze is fine. I'm perfectly okay with the ooze. I have more questions about the sewer stuff, but the ooze I'm fine with.
I would ask you if you're a little worried about getting dirty, but you're not going to. They're the cleanest sewers in the multiverse.
Well, I do have concerns about what's in King Blrrk.
He did have a gem, if I'm not mistaken, right? If he ate one of those.
Yeah, he's absorbed a few magic items that make people a little nervous.
Let's go.
Oh.
Wait. So it cleans the sewers and it has a gem. Does that mean someone had a gem at one point and they ate it? And then it got it?
I know it's been a while since the 4 of you have been level 1 rank agents cleaning out sewers and stuff like that, but the gelatinous cube's kind of known for just eating whatever it can find, wandering around. So yeah, it probably dissolved whatever was holding the gem, and then the gem stuck around. Magic items are harder to get rid of, so don't take the gem from him. Do
Well,
not.
we say
Promises.
don't.
Can we borrow?
We want Blrrk to stick around. If your lives are in danger,
If our lives are in danger, we could
then
take it then
then retaliate in an appropriate manner.
By borrowing
by
it.
taking the gem. Yes.
I like the way Moxie thinks.
We're on the same page.
This seems
Absolutely.
harsh. If
I'm
the
excited for
this
the
seems
sewer
harsh.
snacks.
When the gem goes, Blrrk goes with it. Then you just got a blob on your hands.
You can have some sewer snacks. He'll be okay.
All right. He traces a little glyph on the table, and the portal opens up. And he says, "Just get it done. Get back here. Can you bring back a pie or something?
One
Yeah,
of the sewer
okay.
snacks for you. Yes, of
Yeah,
course.
sure.
Free sewer would be great." And he just gestures over to the portal for all of the 4 of you to enter, which is where we catch up to the 4 of you standing on the kind of in the sweet smelling town of Ennis. Very amazing meat pies and pastries and all kinds of things. And you're standing on cobblestone as I have a bunch of people sitting outside in little patio cafes, clinking glasses of wine, laughing. There's a good range of different people here. It seems like there's a higher elven and half elven kind of population, but beyond that, it's all shapes and sizes.
Moxie walks by one of the cafe tables and just takes a carafe of wine and walks away.
Excuse me.
Yes.
You can't just take wine off of people's tables.
Oh, is there a
know
rule
who
about
she
that?
is.
Yes, is a rule. It's called no stealing. Thank you.
Oh, this isn't stealing, it's borrowing, I can assure you.
Well, if you're going to take it, then you need to pay for it.
I'm on official business right now. Put it on my tab.
But it's on my tab already.
Oh, well, then we'll reimburse you. Just send the invoice to the bureau. And she just walks off.
The person who you stole the wine from is obviously flustered and just makes a lot of like kind of sounds, as you do when you're fancy and drinking wine. That's my understanding. I'm a bourbon guy, and I definitely. They're upset, but they see some blades. They see some. Actually, Moxie, this is a good chance to maybe give us a description of yourself.
Yeah, so Moxie is a fallen Aasimar. So she's kind of got this glow to her with long flowing black hair. Her eyes almost look like they're made out of silver, so they glint. And she's got a circlet on her head that they have two horns on them. And she also has this pendant with a gold gem in it. She's also armed, definitely. She's got 2 short swords on her hips. And she's dressed in like black leather gear. And she just has an air about her that she doesn't really care too much about what other people think.
Right. Cool. As you return to the group, maybe we'll get everyone else to describe themselves. Traven, you want to start first?
Sure. Describe my character?
Yeah. Just
all right.
Their demeanor and who they are and what they look like. Yeah.
All right. Well, Traven is a college star wizard. And basically he has like a scholar robe. He has scholar robe, books, trinkets. You know, you could look at him and say, okay, he might either have a lot of knowledge or just really likes magic. Carries a few books on him and a staff as well. And, you know, he can honestly, even though he's not always reading, if someone's talking to him, he may just be reading his book saying, oh, I'm sorry, I'm busy. But really, it's like, no, I just wanted to just mind my business. Effort isn't his number one thing, but helping others do things for him, it's great. It's like, yeah, we got to fight. Good luck. You know, but more of a support role, but good guy overall, and enjoy working for the bureau.
He's encouraging from a distance. Yeah. I totally understand.
It's like, that's a bad idea. You should go do it. I'll watch.
All right. How about Malasha next?
Malasha is a tabaxi, so they are quite tall, brown fur, large cat-like ears on the top of their head, wearing leather armor. They are a monster slayer ranger, so they have oddly enough no weapons that can really be seen from this point, but she does have a very interesting ring on their finger that has intricate triangle markings, and it seems to sort of like be emanating this purple hue that seems to be like tainting her paw and like seeping up her arm.
Interesting. And then Kevius, yeah?
Kevius.
Right.
Kevius is a tiefling paladin. He's got a sort of chainmail, tabard, pauldrons, full like cloth covering and leather gloves and boots. He's got a helmet that covers like half of his head and then has like a chainmail hang on it to cover his mouth and neck. He's very rarely seen without some full kind of covering on. Even in the mornings, just jogging and exercising, you can see that he just always has like a full piece of clothing just covering him at all times. It looks relatively uncomfortable, especially if it's like warm outside, but it's just always present. He definitely has like a picture of a plate suit of armor in his locker. that he just like looks at every day, goes, one day we'll get there.
As I guess Moxie takes a swig of her ill-gotten booze, a very well-dressed but frantic-looking half-elven woman starts coming up towards you. She has a brass key hanging around her neck, and she's sort of doing damage control for the four of you, just randomly appearing in, because you realize now that there is some looks, especially after Moxie's power move there. You see that she's saying, "It's all right, everyone. It's all right. It's fine. Everything is fine. Nothing is wrong." And then as she gets up to one of the first nearest person, she says, "Something is very wrong in Ennis. Please follow me back to my home. I'm so glad the Bureau got my message."
Yeah, I'll follow and say, yes, we are here to save the day. Do not worry.
There is no day to save. Everything is fine.
That's what I said. Everything is fine, everyone.
Good. Yes. Keep the smiles up. Keep the smiles up.
Yes, yes. Do you have pastries? I've heard so much about them. That'll keep everyone calm.
Moxie's going to say, and you are?
I am, sorry, I had to check my names.
Moxie looks suspicious.
She pulls out a list of names that she might be. She says, "My name's Salta, Mayor Salta, but you can just call me Salta."
Like salt of the earth?
Salta, yeah. Salta de Earth, I guess. Salta. She holds up her little notepad.
Do you have someone close to you named Pepera?
Oh, I haven't heard that one before. You must be Kevius.
I don't like how you have that reaction to that joke. This does not bode well for me.
We can establish now if Kevius is the dad joke person of the group or not. But
he most certainly is. Yes.
All right. Well, I hope we have a chance to have a few more laughs after all of this is done. But right now, the festival's in trouble. And she marches very matter-of-factly towards the third or fourth biggest biggest building in Ennis, which appears to be the mayor's residence. Once you get there, there is this resplendent kind of tea time setup, and there's all these little biscuits and things and treats. And she beseeches you to sit down, but she stands, her wringing her hands and sort of tapping a toe as all of you are getting settled in. Unless you stand. I don't know how hard it is to sit in armor, but I can't imagine it's easy. But
I immediately go to the biscuits.
Right.
Oh, you see so many flavors. Very good, very good.
There is a little fish flavored one. If that's something that you might be interested in, a little more savory.
Excellent.
I don't mean anything by that. Of course. I mean, maybe perhaps
a little casual impersonations. Right. It's fine. Yes.
Well, well, it just it's my cat likes tuna. After you've all settled,
I am not a cat. I am a tabaxi. There is a difference.
Right, of course. There's like a family. There's like a lineage. We can talk again about this. We can talk about this later.
Moxie, do you think we should stay here? Do you think we should help the cities? They're being so rude to me.
Oh, please, you have to. You have to.
It does seem that this mayor is being a little bit rude.
Ooh, you better reimburse them. They look like they're leaving.
Yeah, Moxie was about to sit down, and as soon as Malasha said that, she like jumped back up and is like making her way towards the door again.
I can double your per diem. Please stay.
That is amazing. You know what? I love the way this mayor thinks.
So hospitable. All right.
Love this.
Moxie's back in the seat, feet on the table, drinking the carafe of wine.
Hey, Moxie, can I borrow that real quick?
Did you say borrow?
Borrow, yes.
Sure. Teamwork and all.
Kevius just gonna hold the wine.
Oh no, are you lawful good?
I'm not saying. I'm just holding the line.
Should have looked at alignments. So once you're settled, Mayor Salta finally sits down, pulls over a chair, sits in front of you. Very like nervously takes a bite out of a little biscuit, and a bunch of it crumbles in her hand, and she just like puts it back down. She's shaking. She says, "We've allowed that monster to live beneath our village for however long he's been down there. He gained sentience, and of course we have to sort of respect him. And he does keep our sewers clean. Did
Yes,
Chief
we're well
Agent,
aware.
did your boss tell you about the sewers? That I mean,
Yes, and
We
I
heard
have
about the
many
sewer
questions.
you could just put the dip right on there and put the chips right into the dip right onto the
I have a
sewer.
question.
Unadvised.
Have you all
Unadvised.
I
tested
have a
this?
question. I have a question. Who tested this first?
Well, if you're asking if I've done it, then many a time.
Look, I want to know who was first.
That's a good question.
We'll have to go back into the history books, but it was shortly after Blrrk's arrival.
So this was an ongoing trend.
I hope it was after the person who cleans the sewers. I hope it was after the sewers were clean that someone tried this.
I love how this is your biggest hang up about this. I make a half joke about the sewers being clean. They're like, what?
Yeah.
So
Just
this
some
is great.
just driving noises behind us to the chain.
Yeah, there's a giant sentient gelatinous cube to deal with, and you're like, people eat off the sewer?
Why?
Listen, I killed a giant snail. I'm really curious about these sewers, honestly.
Hmm.
Ooze, sure. That's part of the job.
Listen, he is part of our business in a way. We've had troubles here and there, but normally we were able to go with the local adventurers to kind of calm him down, perhaps bring him a shipment of his favorite wine or that kind of thing. But this year he wanted to be more involved with the festival. We got a very crudely written letter from him, and she hands it over to you, and it's basically not much better than one of those cut out of newspaper ransom letters. And it's written in horrible common. And it's basically says, I've come up with some the wine that's going to win all the awards, and you're going to let me put it into the festival. It's signed King Blrrk, which is just a smear of green goop on it. And we were happy to at least see if whatever Blrrk had come up with would be eligible, but it wasn't. And she brings out a bottle. Yeah, there's handwriting on it. Yeah. She brings out a bottle of bright green, and I don't mean like green apple green. I mean like nuclear green, nuclear waste green juice in it. And scrawled on the side in what looks like either red crayon or red lipstick is eau de ooze. And she puts it down on the table in front of you, and the cookies around it start to melt. Like the chocolate in them starts to kind of like liquefy.
I'm gonna pick it up.
Okay. I'll need you to make a Constitution save. I mean, you're invincible, so I've seen your stats.
I got a 19.
Don't you have plus 10 to your Constitution or something? Oh no,
I got a
charisma.
plus 9 on my save. Yeah.
Yeah, a plus 9. Okay. Yeah, you pick it up, and there's a warmth. You can feel there's a warmth even for your gauntlets or whatever you've got on, gloves you've got on. And it shifts with an uncomfortable weight when you tilt it back and forth. There's something wrong. And where it was put down on the very nice oak table, it's sunken in. It's like started to melt through the wood.
So has anyone tried it?
We may eat off of the sewer floor around here, but we're not fools, all right?
Well, I mean, someone has to be first. There was someone first for the sewers.
Someone has to be first.
Are you
Yes.
volunteering, Traven?
Not at all, but I believe in others. Who wants to try it?
This is not wine. This is toxic sludge. This looks like Blrrk. So I couldn't, in my right mind, allow anyone to try it, let alone enter it into the competition.
I'm gonna raise it up to just in front of my head. Are you Glrrk? I don't see a crown, but are you Glrrk?
Make a persuasion roll, please.
Sure thing. That is going to be a 14.
When you say Blrrk, there is like a bulb of bubbles that goes through. I don't know what that tells you. Are you talking to the Ode Ooze?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Just checking.
Okay, listen, we can hold our judgments right now. You people eat off the sewers. I'm allowed to talk to this thing if I think it's part of it.
Just wait till you see them, okay? You'll understand. Bring a snack, you'll understand.
I'm curious, but I'll refuse.
Okay.
What? So how did you approach this king when you refused his entry into the wine competition?
Well, we returned a letter.
Was it as crudely written as this?
No, it was on official town letterhead.
And
it was written very politely.
Do you happen to have a copy of that letter?
Yeah, makes sense that she might. She digs through a drawer and brings it over and hands it to you. And it's a very politely written letter that says, we have to, we appreciate your contribution. We have to say that you were not one of the nominated wines to be entered into the competition this year.
Oh, so he was salty. Hey, Salta.
Well, I rejected him. I told you that. I mean, I have to assume that's why he did this.
Good point.
So
you were aware that he has a personality that is difficult.
A little sticky to navigate. Yes.
So having this awareness of this king's character and knowing that this wine festival meant so much to him, and you sent him a rejection letter.
What were you going to do? Let the toxic sludge be in the competition?
No, of course not.
Well, the sludge is in the house right now. Just don't let anyone eat it.
Have some other sort of trick, if you will, up your sleeve. Put another type of wine. I've heard of a substance from the mountains, a dew of some sort that replicates the color of this precise green here.
How about the A for Effort award? You did your best. It was so great. We did not partake.
I appreciate all of these coulda, woulda, shouldas, but now the 3 judges are missing, so the damage is done. Hopefully you can bring them back, but I am not putting any. Now that he's taken some of our judges after we were quite polite, I'm certainly not entering any of his wine, so-called wine, into our competition.
Makes sense.
Can you track them down? Can you bring them back to us? They're the finest wine tasters in all of Venice.
Of course. What do you think we are? But I do wonder, Traven, do you think that maybe... I'm not sure what's in your spell book. Do you have Identify? I'm curious if we could figure out if there's something special about this vine.
Well, I have a knack for medicine. Maybe we could find something with that.
Sure, yes.
Can we give that a shot?
You want to do a medicine roll on
Yes.
On the Odos?
Yes, that or investigation, but medicine's pretty high.
Okay, yeah, give me a medicine roll.
Okay, that would be just double check. Which die?
If you'd like to roll right on D&D Beyond, you can actually just click on the little number right beside.
Perfect.
Yeah, right beside the +1 or +2 or whatever it is that you have.
All right, so I got a 15.
All right. How are you investigating? How are you looking into this? Have you opened it? Have you stuck a finger in it and tasted it? Is there anything like that happening, or are you just looking at the bottle?
So I'm pretty cautious. I believe I have a magic hand.
A mage hand, yeah.
Mage hand. So I want to use that to kind of touch it. So
I
don't
you're
have
not even touching it. You're just
I'm just kind of like
hand.
having it float in the air, just like, let's see how this works. Because I don't want my hands to burn from that.
That's smart.
You know?
So
it's like, yeah.
you tilt it around, and it is not quite opaque, but very close to not being able to be seen through. And as you tilt it, it takes a while for the sludge to settle back and forth. And then, but you turn it, and there is a stick of cinnamon inside. Presumably for flavor.
Oh.
But you're not
Cinnamon
sure
is more
that's
resistant than adamantine. So.
Yeah.
This is some really good cinnamon.
This is sewer cinnamon, which is notoriously tough. Yeah. So you're not sure that there's a lot of medicinal properties to this, but there were attempts by whoever made it or whoever consulted with Blrrk on it to attempt to put some kind of something in it.
So Mayor Salta, is this cinnamon come from any source around here by chance, or where we find more of this?
We have the finest. We've got the finest shops and stores that you can find. All of our very ingredients are sourced and brought here and put into our various baked goods and things. I suggest that's probably where you start, as one of the restaurants, because I have a feeling that that's where they were taken. They were taken on a tour. They disappeared after a tour through one of our local restaurants. So I have a feeling something's afoot.
Yeah, which one would deal with indestructible cinnamon?
I have an armor commission to make.
The spicy cinnamon armor. She goes over to her window and opens up and points at the largest building in town, this large restaurant, and it's called the Riviera. She says, "This is our crown jewel." The judges were being on a escort to see the facility before they were to be brought to their lodgings, and they didn't come out the other side.
And who was escorting them?
Oh, it was one of the chefs. They're very distraught.
I want to meet this chef.
Same.
Head Chef Eclair. They're the person that you need to talk to. They're incredibly distraught. I have to warn you, we kind of like a ratatouille type situation around here, and anyone can be a cook. So
what situation?
It's a book I read. It doesn't matter. We like to hire.
Folk. Yes.
Oh, are there rats in the sewers? Do they keep it clean? And their chefs. I read the book too.
There's someone that you may consider unusual to see at a kitchen. That's all. I just appreciate you maybe not staring.
Before we head off, a few things. Could you tell us who the judges are?
I didn't make up names for them, so I will quickly give you three.
1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, Judge quickly give you 3.
Judge Garlic.
Randomnamegenerator.com.
Yeah, fancy name generator. You're just gonna get 3 random French names and go.
Pepper.
Yes, she writes them down on a piece of paper to give you for that you could peruse it at a later time. There's Judge Maurice, Judge Nicole, and Judge Giselle.
All right, and just
2
one last
elves
thing.
and Giselle is a gnome.
Might I get a piece of that letterhead just for business purposes?
I suppose so. Anything that you need? Ennis is at your beck and call.
All right. So she's just going to take it.
She rolls up a scroll, rolls it up and hands it to you.
Can we also take this piece of cinnamon?
You can take the whole bottle, but he sent a case.
Sounds good. The bottle as well. That sounds great to me.
No, I haven't been able to give it away, so this is my first opportunity. Do you want 2? You could each take one.
I think one will work. At least. So he gets his mage hand to grab the bottle, put it in a container, Said, all right, this might be useful later. Who knows?
You put the bottle inside of another bottle. So
Yeah, exactly. It's like I can carry this one.
All right. The mayor gets up. She sort of, dusts some crumbs off of her hands and says, I'm sorry we got off on the wrong foot. But if you can bring these treasured members of our city back, our village back to us, then there's a feast in your honor waiting.
Of
And
course.
And
doubling
DM.
your per diem, yes.
Yes.
And you weren't wrong. These biscuits with the fish, they're very good. I put some more in my bag.
We call them fishkits, and they're very popular.
Fishkits, I love it. Yes, yes, yes.
I'm not making another cat joke. Okay. Got me in trouble that first time. Alrighty. She heads you over to takes you over the door. She kind of gives Traven a bit wider berth where the bottle is stored, hanging off your belts, perhaps.
Mhm.
And she goes over to the door and opens it up and says, "Tell Chef Eclair that I say hello and that I'm not upset. These things, he's not a fighter, you know. I wouldn't expect him to lay his life down to save our judges."
It would be kind of cruel for you to ask.
It would be, absolutely. He's good with a knife, but maybe not that good. And then and starts to usher you over towards it. This restaurant is big. It has maybe like one of those big kind of cottagey houses with a big balcony patio kind of thing around the outside that has all of these different little cafe tables and things, and there's the same as everywhere else, just there's more people jammed in here, and there's the clinking of glasses, and as the sun is sort of starting to set, it's getting to be dusk. It's just very like cozy, friendly, big restaurant that smells amazing as you approach. The maitre d', whose name also I don't have, sees you coming and escorts you back to the kitchen, where there is a motley crew of different people working. There are, some humans and elves and a gnome standing up on a stool and things. Couple of halflings stirring a big pot and that type of thing. But then amongst them are also a few hobgoblins that are where everyone else is sort of lax. The hobgoblins' uniforms are crisp and tight, and they don't have a fleck of food on them or anything, where everyone else is, a little more gregarious and rambunctious and having more of that ratatouille fun time. And the hobgoblin grabs a cloth and starts to wipe their hands off, and then comes over and puts a hand out to who maybe would be the first one that would come in.
Kevius is gonna put the ooze wine underneath his arm and hold his hand out.
All right. Well, Traven's got the ooze wine.
What?
Did you ask for some ooze wine of your own? Because you'd be happy to oblige.
Yeah, mine.
I assume I was still holding it. My bad.
Oh, okay, sure.
A mage hand grabbed it and floated it away from you,
Okay.
and then stored it inside of another container, which is very wise.
Oh, then I just go reach out and shake his hand.
All right. This chef has an insane grip and shakes your hand very tightly.
I'm gonna meet that.
All right.
And that weird kind of way. I'm gonna meet that.
It's just
The hobgoblin says, "Wow, quite a grip."
You too. I appreciate your uniform. It's very clean.
Well, we represent the best restaurant in Ennis. I have to look good. I'm maybe not rubbing off on my team quite as much as I'd like, but that's where we are. On his belt, you can see they've got like 4 big knives, not like daggers, but cooking knives. They're all hanging off of his belt. I guess you're here to talk about the judges that went missing on my watch.
Yes, sadly. What can you tell us?
Well, we were walking through here, and I had to use the head. They were fine. I mean, lots of people around. When I came back, they were gone. My team was tied up.
Tied up by who or what?
They said it was a hooded figure, moving real fast. I have to assume some kind of spellcaster, wizard, rogue. I came back
Lots
and
of
they're all
different
tied up.
options there.
Well,
Yeah.
I didn't see him.
So varied.
Can I insight him?
Absolutely. Go ahead and make an insight roll.
That's a 26.
Cripes. This hobgoblin is incredibly well put together, and there is no way to read what's written on their face. But you see them look over towards another one of the chefs, and they just exchange a glance when they're talking about being tied up and stuff like this. And the other sous chef or whatever speaks up and says, "Yeah, one of the halflings is like, they move real fast, and I'm real small." And
So you did see them.
they were hooded figures. They moved really fast. They tied us all up before we even knew it, and they took the judges. And then as this halfling speaks, you don't need to make an insight roll. He's there. She's making eye contact with the hobgoblin during all of this to be like, "Am I saying the right thing?"
Yeah. You know, now is the time to be honest. We are here to help you. I think any information you may have to give us would be very beneficial for you.
Claire's hand has like gone to the biggest butcher knife on their belt, just sort of sitting on the handle, and says, "I told you what I knew. All right.
Well, I don't like being lied to.
Well, good thing that I'm not lying to you. Isn't that right, crew? You were tied up." And they're all like, "Yeah, it was terrible. We're really small and really slow."
Moxie's gonna put her hand on the shoulder of Chef Eclair and say, "I haven't seen an establishment this fine in ages. Perhaps you could give a private tour."
I can't exactly clear everyone out of here. We're in a rush.
Oh, no. You don't need to clear it all out. I was wondering if I could take a look at your wonderful kitchen. I've heard so many things about how you've run this establishment, and I'm sure you were quite busy running this lot. I know what that's like.
Well, we keep things pretty simple around here. And
she's gonna try pushing, like leading Eclair away.
Okay. Sure. We'll say you appeal to their vanity a little bit, and and they start getting a little more softened up and being like sharpest knives in the business.
I know
only the
something
finest
about that.
only the finest ingredients. Yeah, I noticed. And they'd start just like talking.
So
and
Moxie's gonna try leading Eclair back to the kitchen and sort of like wink back at the rest of the group.
Okay, so you're in the kitchen. Maybe you're gonna lead them back to a storage area or something like that,
Yeah, just to get them away from their influence on the rest of the staff.
All right. And then Traven, Malasha, and Kevius, you're staying behind. Traven?
Can I do an insight check to see, out of all of them, who would be the most willing to talk or nervous?
Absolutely.
You're gonna insight check Moxie.
Is that good? Is that there? I can give it a go.
Go ahead.
All right, I got a. I think this is 16.
A 16. So the little halfling woman, well, they're the halfling woman. They're all pretty little, I guess. The halfling woman who was sort of spoke up first. She kind of slumps forward with a sigh, like with a relieved kind of sigh as Moxie moves Chef Eclair out of their vicinity, and you think that though she's eager to please the chef, she's probably also a bit of a weak link.
Okay, so I go up to it and say, "Hey there. I know you all didn't see anything, but let's think about this logically. This is one of the finest establishments here, and soon you all are gonna be known for ruining the festival, losing the judges, and do you really think this place will last after that? You know, we actually are here on business to help you all, quietly. But if we don't know anything and we can't solve it, I don't know how long y'all will work here. I don't think the chef thought in advance. So did you really not see anything?"
That was such a good sell that her face kind of drops and she says, "Do you think I might actually lose the job?"
Oh,
I didn't
absolutely.
I didn't think I would like the cooking part. I mean, it was really hard at the beginning, but now I'm
We
actually starting to like it.
Oh, let me tell you, we were just talking to Mayor Salta, and he said this might be the end of this place if we don't get this solved. So we're here to help you, but if we can't do anything, I don't know what to tell you.
Well, I mean, this isn't my real job, but I'd be sad to see it go.
It was a great place, from what I
Um,
see.
she like leans over to the other halfling and she says, we could there's a chance to take the job away from us." And then the other halfling's like, "Why would I care?" And they go back to like stirring the pot. So something's up. All of you have heard this, obviously, that this isn't this halfling's real job. And looking around, there's a lot of like scars under eyes, and some of these chefs are incredibly ripped. So there's one Goliath that just has a name tag that says Cronut on it, and they're not cooking anything. They look more like a bouncer at a bar. But it seems like one bad flex, and all of their outfit their chef's shirt jacket will just fly right off of them. We can hop over to Moxie in the back with the chef. And this is where we keep our our best ingredients. And they point at one and they hesitate a little bit and say, "Human? Human."
Does Moxie know if it's human or not?
Do you? I'll leave this one up to the narrative. Do you think that Moxie would know about different spices?
Yeah, I think so.
You would definitely see that it was a guess. So I'm gonna say it's right.
Okay.
But you could tell that they were guessing.
Moxie's going to say, "Yes, you're quite the chef. So now that I've got you away from that riffraff, do you think this was an inside job just between us? It seemed rather sloppy. I don't think a criminal mastermind would have been able to leave so many clues behind."
Their brow began to furrow when you said riffraff. And you can see their face starting to go a little beet red. Well, I guess they're under the fur of the hobgoblin face. You can see them getting a little hot, and they say, "Can you roll that back? What did you call my team?"
Oh, I just meant that they seemed like a little bit, as you said, a little ramshackle, not up to snuff, as you said.
I'm allowed to say that about them.
No, I see, of course.
But I'm their boss.
Yes, just as, I said about my lot.
I don't appreciate the accusation that it was an inside job. What was her name again?
Moxie.
That sure suits. I'm gonna have to ask you to leave.
Well, you see, the thing is, we're on official business here, and we should like to help your fine town here.
Well, unfortunately, this clue led to a dead end. And they sort of start to try and usher you back out into the kitchen.
All right, she's gonna look around the room and just sort of see if she can make eye contact with anyone to see if they've got anything.
Sure. Traven just has finished their conversation with the halfling woman, and you can see that the halfling is incredibly worried and looking now, and it's getting more worked up and bugging the other halfling that's helping stir that pot. And there's starting to be a murmur that's going around to everybody that they might lose their fake jobs. And a lot of them seem to be kind of disappointed by this fact. Kevius and Malasha, were you doing anything while you're out there?
I'm gonna go over to that real buff Goliath.
Right, Cronut, Chef Cronut.
Chef Cronut, yeah. What are they currently doing?
This.
What are they facing? Are they facing like the kitchen itself? Are they against a wall? What are they doing?
They're leaning up against the door into the kitchen, but they're facing into the kitchen.
All right. I'm gonna walk right up to them.
Mm-hmm.
You're in the middle of a rush and you're not doing anything?
Management.
Yes, but chefs lead by example, no?
You can see the wheels turning in their head. Supervisor.
Are you management or supervisor? Are you in authority or just following orders?
Both of those things.
I see.
Who's asking?
Well, there's someone out front who is making quite a fuss. Someone very unhappy, asking for management. Now, if you're not management, I can go find management.
Oh, no, I'm management.
Okay.
Someone doesn't like the chef's cooking?
It looked like they're about to have a brawl near the front door, like just on the outside of it. They didn't like it that much.
I could brawl. And they roll up the sleeves on the outfit and then start to stump out into the main area of the restaurant. And you start to hear punches being thrown where you had made up a fight, but a fight has begun. And you hear just Cronut bellow, "Who didn't like the cooking?"
I'm gonna walk over to the halfling one that Traven's talking to.
Mm-hmm.
Hi. I would love for you to keep your job. We are pretty much here to help. In case the big guy was giving you still a little bit of pressure. What can you remember about the hooded figure? Just about what happened.
All I was told to say was that they were wearing a hood and that we couldn't see their faces and they were really squirrely and suspicious and probably some kind of evil wizards.
Why? Who told you that and why?
At this point, the halfling realizes exactly what she's been saying and she just puts a hand over her mouth.
Could I roll persuasion for that?
Sure, go ahead.
That is going to be a 22.
Oh.
She realized that she's been made and she slumps forward again and says, "We're not real chefs.
No?
This is a front."
No. What is the front for?
I know, we're really good at the show. But
I was enthralled. I'm taken back by surprising.
But I didn't think I'd be into it. I mean, I'm mostly like a sandwiches, like easy kind of meal prep kind of gal, but I like chopping up the things and put them into the soup pot like it's kind of zen, you know?
I know exactly what you mean. When I make my meal prep for the week, sometimes I think I know how to use a longsword. I could just use a longsword to go through the chicken. It's fine.
You can use a sword to cook?
I mean, I think some people can. I haven't quite figured it out yet, but I'm sure someone can. But more importantly, who told you to say all these things?
She gets a little sheepish and says, "Nobody."
Listen, this place, a large part of the city, they're going to be so distraught if we can't figure this out.
It was Eclair.
It was a Claire? Okay. Hey, listen, you are a gem. I appreciate you so much. And if you would do me the kindness, please just step out of the building for maybe 10 minutes.
Well, I'm up for a break, but
If you could take your break now, we'll tell Claire. I'd be really heartbroken if you were here in this building for the next foreseeable 10 minutes.
she tugs on the other halfling and says, "Hey, Pete, we're gonna take our break, okay?" And he's like,
Also, before you go, which room is the rooms that you're not supposed to go in?
"Well, we're not allowed to go in Eclair's office. It's locked all the time."
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I should be saying all this stuff.
Any people coming and going between certain rooms very frequently?
Just Eclair go into his office. Oh no, here he comes. It's break time. We're going on a break, Eclair, and they both hop off of the stools that they've been using and start to head out to the front.
Thank you for the recipe. I will try it when I get home.
Yeah, it's a soup, I think. As as they go outside, the two halflings go outside. Claire has escorted Moxie out and says, "What's break time's not for another half an hour. What's going on here?"
Well, your management staff is out making a brawl in the front room. I don't know what kind of ship you're running here. Honestly.
Cronut started another brawl?
There's a huge brawl out front. Listen, I'm sure it'll settle down soon, but you, us, we have to settle this right now. Can we talk in your office?
Their hand goes back to the knife and says, I have to insist that we don't.
Why not?
So
it's private. All of the very important recipes for the Riviera are stored in there.
Then can we talk in some kind of back room?
We can talk here. And they pull the knife off of their belt and stab it into the counter on the table. If you really want to talk. And everyone else all the others start to sort of shift around a little bit. I don't like you coming in here and making my team take breaks, and sounds like whispering things in their ears I don't really want them to hear.
I'm gonna walk right up to Eclair.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee you want to put that knife back in its sheath and go back to using words.
Intimidation roll, please, I think.
That is a 19.
Actually, I'll roll for this person. I don't think they're going to beat that, but we'll see. Dirty 20.
Ooh.
The knife stays stabbed into the counter, but Eclair. Sorry, what kind of armor are you wearing? Is there something to grab?
I'm wearing chainmail with a tabard in the front of it.
Okay, so maybe he grabs onto the tabard and says, I'm going to set this 10-second egg timer, and that's going to be all the time you need to clear out. I told you what we know. Wizards did it.
Mm-hmm. So, gonna throw this out there. I'm going to smash the half-empty carafe of wine into his head.
Oh.
Even hanging onto it this whole time.
This entire time, just it's half empty by now. There's some sweet red stains on like the front of his chainmail.
Okay. I'm just realizing I put bugbears on my sheet when I meant to do hobgoblins. What kind of D&D nerd am I? So don't tell anybody, please. Is this being televised? Oh no.
It'll just be between us and all of you at home.
Okay. Go ahead and make an attack roll, I guess. An improvised weapon. We'll say it'll do a D4 damage.
D4 damage.
Yeah.
Cool.
Plus your strength bonus there.
Cool.
And I'll get everyone to roll initiative.
Cool. And in that case, come on. Okay. That's so I'm gonna say something else first. Divine Smite lets me activate it after I confirm a hit.
Yeah, you get to it's the most powerful ability in the game, really, because
Yep.
you get to choose when to use it. Yeah.
I mean, I have no bias, but clearly it deserves to be. That's a natural 20.
Seriously? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I need to have everyone roll initiative this time. So I will say that generally the Big Bad Bureau does have a don't kill them kind of attitude towards this type of stuff. So I'll leave it up to all of you. We have not confirmed the Paladin's alignment, but non-lethal damage usually is what they would like from you.
So I'm going for non-lethal.
Okay, they're going to be non-lethally slammed into the ground at a high speed, but
I'm just infusing divine righteousness into a bunch of glass. Clearly non-lethal. Oh, good golly. 7, 14, 32 points of damage. Oh, plus strength, 35 points of damage. Non-lethal.
on a 1d4 wine bottle.
Yes.
I mean you.
Hell.
Okay, so I mean, I battle. I mean, who needs it? So you describe how you summon the power of whatever powers you into this wine jug and smash it over the top of Claire's head.
I'm just going to hold. He puts the egg timer down. I say, "Faith is timeless," and smash him over the head.
Okay. Does it glow with holy light or something? I'm just curious. Okay.
It just a streak of like this purplish glow around my arm and the wine bottle as I just crash it over his head.
There's hobgoblins are sturdy, and for a second, Claire stands there, and an dazed hand starts to reach for the knife, and then they just fall. There is a lot of like red staining their really nice white chef's outfit. Some of it is a little bit of their blood, but most of it is just wine, and they keel over onto the floor, scattering a bunch of dishes and everything everywhere.
Okay.
The few remaining like ne'er-do-wells that had all grabbed knives just sort of drop them and put them back down onto the counters, and they put their hands up in the air. And then one of the gnomes says, "It was him. He was behind all of it."
Moxie
That's
leans
wonderful.
down.
I was going to ask who knew something.
Yeah, he told us to all get tied up.
Oh.
Yep, it
Good.
wasn't. We just work here.
Mm-hmm. And I am very upset with all of you that you all made me have to go through that.
They made you do this, huh? I think actually this might be a good time to maybe take our first break. We're approaching the 1.5-hour mark, and I want to leave a little time on the other side of the break for Blrrk themselves. So yeah, you stand over the unconscious body of head chef Eclair, as their outfit gets bloodied or gets stained by their own blood for the first time, and while all of their minions stand around with their hands up in the air as things start to burn in pots and things all over the oven.
Moxie's going to lean down and say, "It was coriander."
Ooh. Saucy burn to go to break on. I like that. All right, so Jess will be taking us away to break. I want to thank everyone who's been watching so far, and I hope all my players are having a blast. I'm having a good time with this ridiculous. If you get a chance, go and download Blrrk, because there's amazing interior art that shows what these murderous chefs look like. This is canonical to Blrrk, that he has a team of chefs or assassins that just look like the chefs. One of them's wearing Crocs. It's very funny. So fantasy Crocs.
Lovely.
So on that note, please go check out King Blrrk. You can download that. Please check out our any nominated Wakeworm's Fury booklet, which will be at the same link. And yeah, go check us out on the Annies. But most of all, thank you for watching. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll be back in, I think, a hot 10. A hot 10. We'll be back. All right. See ya. See you in 10 minutes.
See you soon.
Bye.
See ya.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey,
We're
hey.
back for the with my amazing cast for the second half of the Big Bad broadcast, and yeah, thank you for everyone who stuck around, still is watching. We're gonna dive right back into it where we left off. You four had, in a way, avoided a confrontation by causing one very sudden confrontation that ended very quickly. And so in the kitchen of the Riviera, which is the finest restaurant in all of the town of Ennis, and lying at your feet is the subdued, unconscious body of head chef Eclair, who everyone around, all the other sous chefs are insisting was the one in charge. And a few of them are starting to inch their way towards doorways.
Moxie is going to say,
I'm just making sure Cronut's okay.
I'm certain that Cronut is a big boy and he can take care of himself.
They've torn down, they have some like decorative fishing nets that they use. So, you know, like the Riviera has this kind of like seaside theme on the inside. And like at an old, like Red Lobsters would have like those fake nets. They pulled those down, and a bunch of like the wait staff has like tried to throw it all over Cronut, and they're trying to like just get him to calm himself long enough that so he's covered in fake fishing nets and just being like in the middle of the restaurant. Everyone's moved out to the patio for obvious reasons.
With their drinks.
Yeah, they're like, oh. Each one of them is just, ugh. So
Ooh, a muscle.
oh, how unseemly. Yeah. So you see a key jangle, a ring of keys jangle on Eclair's, like falls out of sort of the fold in or from behind his apron.
I'm gonna pick those up.
All right, you've got keys.
And he has all his like really fancy chef knives on like a little like holster altogether.
One is stabbed into the counter, and then there's three more on their belt.
Is the belt like have like special like loops for them?
It's actually magnetized, or at least it seems.
Ooh,
That's cool.
Ooh,
Yeah, it's pretty,
cool.
or it's magic, or something is happening. You'll say it's magic. Magnets are magic. No one knows how they work anyway. So
I'm gonna take the belt and the knives.
okay, sure.
Just gonna put that on my shoulder, grab the knife out of the counter, look at the wait staff, look at the staff there. You don't mind, right? This is...
Oh, we got our own knives. It's fine. It's fine. Everyone seems to be fine with you doing whatever you want.
Wonderful. I'm glad we can do this. Now, where are the judges?
We had to blindfold ourselves, so we don't know where they took them, but probably we heard the door open and close to Eclair's office. So
Wonderful. Thank you so much. You're all wonderful, and I appreciate you a lot.
they're like, thanks.
Says this faceless mass of metal, I guess.
Right? Yeah. Okay. Their office is off in the corner. You can tell that it's a well-maintained. It has like the schedule very neatly handwritten on parchment, like on the outside. There's a suggestion box which is empty, and you know, there's this big heavy padlock on the door.
I'm gonna just undo that padlock.
Okay. Sift through the keys, find the one that fits, unlock the door, go into it's really kind of a narrow office, but with as soon as you go in, I imagine Kevius, you probably have to go sideways a little bit with all the armor that's on. But there's these big shelves on either side that are filled with paperwork and little recipe boxes and all this kind of stuff. All really neatly organized, and everything's labeled in the same handwriting as what's on the schedule. It's obvious that whatever Chef Eclair does for really reals, they actually really seem to really care about keeping this kitchen going. So, and then just past a really small desk, just like a little writing desk, is another door that has a much more. This door's been here longer than it's been here from like the previous buildings before this place got renovated or whatever into the rest. It has a very much like medieval feel to it, like a lot of old infrastructure in these little villages has. So
you should definitely check this out.
Draven,
yes,
there's a bunch of writing in here.
All right, so can I quickly?
Draven's the one that reads? Is that
yes,
okay.
It's like, all right, let me quickly investigate all this. Just a quick speed read. So can I cast haste on myself to quickly just? All right, this is what we found out.
I would be honored if you used haste to
just quickly
to roll investigation 12 times or whatever.
Yes. It's like we could go one by one and just shoot. So investigation. Okay. I got 11.
Well, you're going fast, so at the very least, I'll let you roll with advantage. So you can roll again to see what the investigation roll, to see if you can get better than 11.
And to that, we got at least 17.
All right. What does it look like when you cast your haste spell, just so we get an idea?
When I cast haste, like first he's just kind of tapping his leg. Then once he hits his legs, just going like, you know how Rabbit just he just zips across all the papers. Like
there's like a thumper
that
effect.
Quicksilver scene where you see him over here, but he's over here, but just reading papers. Just all right, taking notes, and then he just stops.
I didn't think I could love you more.
But he just stops. It's just like, all right, this is what we learned.
Yeah. So there is a buzz around you, papers flying everywhere, but always landing neatly back to where they were. And then most of what's in here you find is related to the business. It's neatly organized, it's taken care of, it's receipts, it's all this kind of stuff. Looks like there's they use this office is also where they keep the sort of management side of things. But hidden sort of in a drawer, one of the last places you look is like what looks like a requisition order. I don't know what the word is, you know, when a list of things that the restaurant needs. But the names that are beside them are all other restaurants. And that is not super common. You would have a distributor or something, but this is the places that they're going to acquire things from are other places around town. And they've got sewer entrances written, like closest sewer entrance is one of the headers, I guess.
Okay, I'll bring this back to the group and say, do you all think anything of this, the sewer entrances? And I have a question. Is there one of the sewer entrances in this restaurant?
Yeah, there's 4A. It's not listed on there, but if the one on the door follows the same pattern. You're gonna go into these super clean sewers if it kills me.
Well,
I need you to understand how clean they are.
I feel like this matches. Maybe we go in through there then.
We probably should indeed.
But what are we doing with the rest of these lackeys? Do we want them to go tell King Blrrk that we are coming, or do we want to? What do we do?
If you turn around to look, there is just the sound of plates spinning. And like a mug falls off of a counter and smashes on the ground.
Well, that answers my question. We go now. All right.
Wait, real quick. Is Cronut just on the ground still covered in net?
We'll say Cronut walks in as you look, and he sees the mess on the ground, and just goes, "Ugh," and grabs a broom. He's forgotten in his rage that you were there, and he just starts cleaning up the smashed plates, sweeping around Chef Eclair.
I will slowly close the door.
I'm gonna open the door, wrap it up. Get a champion, close door.
Back to sweeping. Okay. You find the key that unlocks this door. It's obvious from it being an old-timey looking key, obviously. And the door swings open, and you brace yourself for a sewer stink, and all you smell is just like sweet, maybe a little cloyingly sweet, like a fruit smell, like perhaps grapes.
I don't
But
trust
it wafts over you as you open the door, this very pleasant smell.
David just kind of looks us down and like, this does not make sense. This is not a sewer. This is not a sewer. I'm gonna talk to Mayor Salt. This has to be renamed.
This is wrong. I trust 0% of all this.
I agree.
There is a sign that says sewer that points down down a flight of stairs.
While we're all here, Malasha's gonna go ahead and cast Pass Without Trace on all of us.
Nice.
Ooh.
So you'll all get a +10 bonus to your stealth checks, and we cannot be tracked except by magical means.
Excellent. All right. So it sounds like perhaps this is a thing that you do fairly regularly. Is that how you want to approach going down, with maybe some stealth rolls?
I think we might as well be a little sneaky, see what comes up, eh?
All right. So I'll get stealth rolls from everybody, and add 10 to your total.
I apologize in advance as a large man in very metallic, clinky armor.
You're at disadvantage, but you still get that +10. So
the +10 puts me at 20.
23.
31.
dang. Okay. Well, I don't think
You don't even see Moxie. Like,
yeah. Kevius, what did you get? Just
like a 13.
Your team covers your butt as you make your way down the definitely sewer stairs. You can see large brass pipes on the ceiling, polished to a perfect gleam, and there is barely the touch of moisture in the air as you walk down, and there is still just the smell. It is a sort of a fruity smell, maybe like left out just a little bit, but not bad. And then the wafting as you pass under sewer grates and things. There's the wafting of the baked goods, the smell coming down in. This is so far the most pleasant sewer that you have ever been in. And you start to make your way down through the tunnel, and the route is fairly direct. You get to a T section, and for the first time you hear some noises. It's a deep kind of mumbly voice. You can't really make out what they're saying, but they're mad. The other direction just has more baked good smells.
I think Moxie's gonna gesture to go to the area with the noise.
Sure.
And sort of like listen in.
All right. Let's get another stealth roll from everybody, just in case Kevius can screw it up real good for you.
Yeah, Kenny, I guess. Let's see if he can mess it up, guys.
You still get the you still get the +10 because it's ongoing for now.
26.
All righty.
22.
Oh, that's what.
Oh.
And what'd you get, Kevius?
16.
Wow. Okay.
Hey,
Better than
getting
last time.
better.
Progress.
Listen, choices were made in this character, and none of them were for dexterity.
Wow. That's really low. And I don't mean to shame you for that, but it's low.
It's almost as if I'm rolling at a +0 with disadvantage.
Oh, well, you did. You're doing great, buddy. So you do manage to make your way without being seen, and you get to a portcullis that's closed. There isn't a lot of light down here, so you're able to kind of peek in. And as you turn the corner towards this portcullis, you start to hear a voice more clearer. It's echoing quite a bit. You can't really see anyone, but you definitely hear something say, They think I can't make delicious wine? I drink wine all day. I know what's good. You think that you're better than me just because I'm goo? And there's this kind of ongoing thing. I have to save my voice for the good moments for Blrrk here, but it is echoing through, and you hear some like mild whimpers, a little bit of like a laugh, a giggle, and then a Blrrk says, "Are you laughing at me?" And there's the sound. You don't see Blrrk, but you see a cask get thrown across the room, and it's a big one of those wall-mounted casks that they have like behind the bar, thrown across the room and shatters. And then there's a couple of chefs, chefs that grumble, grab brooms, and go over to the other side. They walk past, so there's at least a few armed folks in here. So there's big bad Blrrk on the other side of this grate, and you can his talk just kind of reduces down to murmuring to himself, and then there's like slurping.
So, what's the plan here? Do we go in guns blazing or pick them off one by one? Reason? I mean, Kevius, you seem to be quite the talker.
Okay, yeah, sure. I'll talk to big giant sewer cleaning slime. Yeah, okay. It's just part of the job.
I mean, it's up to you. I
it's
don't
okay.
know.
Sure. Traven, can I see the wine, please? Thank you.
What? Sure. Just pulls it out. There you go with the magic hand.
I grab it with my glove.
Good luck. Do you want to be invisible when you go over there first?
No. I mean, I sound like a bunch of silver being thrown down some hardwood stairs, so it's fine.
Understandable.
Do you have a course of action here?
People ask me this. I don't.
Well, might I suggest? I do have this letterhead here. Between the two of us, we're quite good at words. Perhaps we can convince King Blrrk that some offer has been made. From a
I don't
local...
want to lie. I don't want to lie to him.
You don't have to lie. I can do that.
It's like editing. I like the way he thinks.
No, I mean, like, if he doesn't know the truth, then he might demand to have the wine sent out again. And, like, he might do something else in cinnamon. He might do something worse. Like oregano.
Can we just give him an award and say it was amazing? It had a great use today, which is the truth. We knocked out someone, but it was useful.
Sure. Okay.
Yes,
I think I have a sentence in my thinking cap. So here we go. Can I open the portcullis?
No, it's closed, and the mechanism is on the other side by the looks of it.
I even have a phrase. Your wine is so amazing, it knocked out a chef. He did enjoy wine.
That is not mine. I like
this. This is the truth. This is the truth.
I like this. This is why you are. This is why you're a good friend. You think for me. I like.
Kevius, I need you to roll a stealth roll by yourself as you approach the portcullis.
Still have that +10.
You still have the +10, and it has saved your bacon.
Also, still have that disadvantage.
Yep.
Oh, 24.
24 with the disadvantage?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Somehow, against the odds, you managed to slip up to the portcullis without anyone noticing. And when you're close to it, you can see there are 4 very sturdy looking chefs in here. Not necessarily cronut size, but beefy. And you can just see, if you turn to the right, you can see a pseudopod reach out, grab another bottle of wine from a case, knocking a bunch of them over, and they crash and spill all over the ground, and like drunkenly kind of pull back out of view. And as it pulls back, you see 2 very well-dressed elves and a gnome, a very well-dressed gnome, hanging over 3 large vats of glowing, slimy green liquid by their ankles.
Can one of you open this portcullis, please? Thank you.
Yes, of course. There you go. I mean, yes, of course. There you go.
We see the mechanism for the portcullis.
It's out of arm's reach. You can see it. The portcullis is sunken into the hallway a bit, and so where the wall turns, you can see there's a lever there.
And how close are the guards to the lever?
It's hard to see where the guards are that have gone over and cleaned. They're out of view now.
Okay. So
a mage hand could do it.
It's like, that's a great idea. Can I get a mage hand and use it for the lever and just kind of...
Sure. So it is like a floaty magical hand that will go into the room and just turn
kind
the
of...
lever. Okay. All right.
That's our idea. Good job, Traven.
Yes, thank you.
Higher
power told me.
I'm gonna need Traven. I'll get Traven to do a stealth roll that does not benefit from the without the +10. So just a straight up stealth roll to see how well you sneak this hand in, since it sort of leaves Malasha's realm of influence here.
15.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. These chefs are not as observant as some. So your mage hand floats around, pulls the lever down, which is loud, but then dissipates. And the portcullis starts to ratchet up. You have a split second before the chefs are on you. I think maybe I will now get everyone to roll initiative, and we'll do this in initiative order. We'll try and play a little bit of D&D during this D&D.
That's a
Right.
nat 1.
6.
Let me just adjust something here. All right. Sorry. What did you get, Malasha?
I got a nat 1, but I have a +4, so 5.
Right, so 5 total.
6.
Okay. Kevius?
I got one of them natural 17s.
Nice. And Moxie?
16.
Sorry?
16.
16? Okay.
Our numbers are also close to each other.
It's called teamwork.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then I just have to roll a die for Blrrky. Wow. He's he's as slow as you there, Kevius. He is a big blob, but he still rolled higher than you. So there you go.
Ooh.
I'm sorry.
Ooh.
Okay.
You said we had a moment before they're on us?
Yeah, I'll give you a space of a surprise round worth of things as they sort of round the bend.
I'm taking my shield out and holding the wine up. Just hello.
Okay. Shields up. Do you want to take like the what's the action gives you advantage when
dodge action?
The dodge action, maybe, just to
just to really make sure that I am not hit.
Or is it a hold action to smash the bottle?
Oh no, I'm not gonna smash the bottle.
Okay. All right.
Something worse.
Oh no.
I feel like that bottle just wouldn't smash anyway.
All right. Next up on my turn order is Moxie.
I think Moxie is going to just whisper under her breath and just say, time for a bit of gloom and doom, and then just a shadowy sword forms in her hand as she readies herself.
Ooh, very nice. Spooky. Um, any bonus actions or moves? I guess you're waiting for the portcullis to open.
Yeah.
There is a rumble from the side of the room from Blrrk saying, I don't like the share. And we're skipping over the chefs, and now it's Traven.
Okay. Who's the closest opponent to me? I'll do something funny.
There's one chef that's just rounding the bend towards the portcullis. So,
okay,
what you got?
Can I reduce his size? it's like we could fight, but if they're small, they're just not a problem.
Yeah, let's shrink this chef.
Like shrink. I'm hoping everything, even if he has a knife or anything, gets shrunken too. Just
yeah, it does.
Oh, great! Yeah, I want to just be tiny.
So on your character sheet, I'll load it up here to help you out. What is your spell save DC, and what is the stat they have to roll for?
Constitution 14.
Constitution 14. Perfect. Okay, let's see how they do. I want them to fail this because it's fun.
I want them. I just want to say, hey, this reminds me of Ratatouille. I read this book.
Don't worry, little guy. Anyone can cook. So you send out a little mote of energy, a little dart of magic that just bumps into the chest of the chef that's rounding the corner, and they're like, hey, what? And then they start to shrink down till like a little under gnome size. So, maybe like 3 apples tall, like a Smurf. They're not very big. And I'll take a look at what they do. But I mean, they're out of the fight for now. I think that's a concentration spell, so just have to keep in mind that if you get hit, they might stop, and then the chef will be full size and very angry.
Sounds good.
Yep. All right. They pull the knife out and they're like waving it, but the knife is like the size of a toothpick.
I'm saying them like, oh, hey there, buddy.
Perfect. Malasha, you're up last.
Yeah. How big is the door that's like in the process of opening? I'd like to be away from other people.
I would say it's a 10-foot wide, so you can stand shoulder to 2 people can stand shoulder to shoulder. So in my mind, I think Moxie and Kevius were up front, but
yeah.
Does that make sense?
That's fine. Yeah, I'll just go around from where I am currently, so I'm on the other side of the door that we're on. Mm-hmm. Can I get a better look from here through the door at all?
Yeah, you see that the
Looking
two that
for
went
some green ooze.
Oh yeah. So to your left, this room this opens up into a kind of a wine cellar, a big wine cellar. There are these tons of racks of bottles and casks stacked up, and you actually can't. It's just so dark you can't see the back of this room, so you don't even know how big it is. But it's a sewer that has been converted to a massive wine cellar, and all around are these shelves that are 10, 12 feet high. To your left is where the big cask was thrown, and that's where 2 of the guards or the chefs are coming around the corner. To your right, you see there's like a little table set up with your classic kind of goon stuff like cards and dice and stuff on it, little stacks of coins. They don't try and change up. The chef uniform is their big change up on the old goon motif, but when you see that 2 of them are getting up to their feet, 2 chefs, and Blrrk is sitting in a throne made out of the biggest cask of all. It has this like ornate chair that's been sort of bolted into it, and Blrrk is sitting right in it, and just like dumping bottles of wine into his corpulence.
Gullet.
Yeah, well, it's more like pouring it all over his head, and it just sort of
it
absorbs
seeps
into him.
in. Yeah.
And then the
nice.
bottle just gets tossed into him as well. He has a face, but it doesn't move. It's like someone who wanted a face but was made out of Play-Doh, just kind of put their hands in like this, and then did the smile, and then scooped a couple of eyes out. And he just has this vacant smile and is pouring bottles of wine and the bottles into his own cube.
There you are, my slimy friend. And I will, as a free action, mark them as my favorite foe.
Mhm.
And I will bonus action cast Hunter's Mark, which means that we will all lose our stealth abilities.
Okay.
And I'm going to hold my action for if anyone attacks any of the party, I'll attack Blrrk with Bullseye.
Okay. Sounds good. So, you use an action to do your mark. No, you use bonus action Hunter's Mark. You use your action for your chosen foe.
My favorite foe is a free action.
Oh, okay, cool.
And then I'm holding my action for if anyone takes damage, I'll let Bullseye fly.
All right, sounds
towards
good.
King Blrrk.
So you sort of just step out into the. I mean, you said something to him, so I assume you sort of step out of the doorway and knock the arrow. Yeah.
Yeah. If it's open now, I might as well walk through it.
We'll say you're the last in the turn, so we'll just say it ratchets up the full way, and you're now in the room, threatening them with Bullseye, the cursed bow.
Yeah. If I'm prepping that action, do you want me to take it out now, or can it stay on my finger?
I think you need to kind of, for the dramatic effect at the very least, you have to.
All right, so I reach my paw forward, and I pull invisible air in front of me as if holding a bow, and illuminating, glowing before you is 5 arrows from my ring, ready to set fly.
Mm-hmm. As you draw your hand back, it just draws an arrow of light into the air. Mm-hmm. But then there's sinister. Every time this happens, there's some sinister, like the ring talking to Frodo kind of noises that makes all of you very unsettled. Right. So that brings us to the top of the turn with Kevius. Blrrk sees what's going on and starts to get upset, agitated, and it's sort of a Jabba the Hutt kind of like flailing around kind of thing. And he says, "Well, intruders, this is mine. It's my stash. I've spent a long time collecting it." And just obviously starts to get very defensive. And a record player gets knocked off of something and hits the ground, and like this kind of tarantella music starts to play as the chefs start heading in towards you. So Kevius, you're up.
Kevius is gonna call out to Blrrk. Hi, yes, hello. I am here because of the missing chefs. I have your wine here. You wanted it to be judged in a contest. I am here to fulfill that right here and now. Please do not try and devour me. Thank you.
Can you make a persuasion check at disadvantage, please?
Yes, I absolutely can. I believe in. Yes, I believe in myself. I believe in the power of friendship and trust, and I believe in this wonderful 19 that I got.
Oh, wow. Okay. How good is Blrrk at resisting flattery? Not great. Blrrk's not face shifts towards you, and you cannot read what they are thinking, but you've definitely got his attention. Any movement, any bonus action you would like to take?
I'm gonna walk into the room. Mm-hmm. I'm going to uncork the wine.
Okay.
And I'm going to put the neck of the bottle underneath my chainmail and I'm gonna take a sip of this wine.
Just like walk right out into the room and do this. Okay.
Yup.
Okay. Well, drinking wine is an action according to the rules of D&D. So that's fine. You need to make. So, are you taking a swig? I need to know how much of this is going into you before I.
I'm going for that. I'm going for that full swallow, baby.
Okay.
Full mouthful. Just really just chug-a-lugging. Let's go. Like
All
a,
right.
like a
I think Moxie's going to be in the background reminding Kevius, wine tasting means you spit it out after. It's not impolite. Just remember that.
huh?
All right. Make that Constitution save, please.
Sure thing. Please. Oh God. 27.
Wow. The Kevius with the iron stomach. As you're tilted, everything goes into slow motion as you tilt this bottle of sewage towards your mouth, and like one droplet rolls out of the neck of the bottle and just drips down onto your tongue, and there is a sizzle sound like bacon thrown onto a grill as it touches. And for a moment you think you're going to bail on this, and you should bail on this, and no court would try you, but you just tilt the bottle the rest of the way and take about a wine glass's worth into your mouth.
Oof.
It's as bad, whatever the worst taste you can imagine, that's what it tastes like. I'll leave it up to you. No description would ever be able to describe it. And it is like burning the inside of your mouth.
It's like discovering that pork rinds can in fact rot.
Sure. I didn't know that until now, so thank you. You start to swish it around. Do you do the whole wine thing?
Yeah, I do the whole I want to. Actually, no, I don't do that. I'm under a suit of chainmail. I just go,
Oh, right.
mhm.
You poured it through the grill or whatever, and it's so you're just keeping it in your mouth. Okay, sounds good.
And then I drink it.
There's a gulp.
There's a gulp.
I have to hear the gulp, Kevius.
Okay. I have
All right.
tasted it, and I have questions and some responses. Can you promise not to harm me until I get all my answers and give all my responses?
I will say, Blrrk. Somehow the cube shifts into like this bigger smiling look of surprise as they see you, as he sees you drink it. It's just like somehow the ooze is smiling into a bigger smile, but we'll wait till his turn to see what happens. Moxie, you're up. And you can't believe what you have just seen.
No, Moxie is
gulp.
just like her jaw is just like it's dropped and waiting for Kevius to spit it out. I guess while she's looking, she's gonna glance over. You said there were two individuals hanging over a
The three judges are hanging over big vats of this very wine.
Okay. I think she is going to move over to the judges and just sort of put a hand up and say, just along for the ride here. We have the judge here. I'm just here to inspect the premises.
All right. The chefs don't really know what's going on. Don't realize right now what's going on. And you will have to kind of leave the radius of one of them. So they're going to try and grapple you as you head over there, as you move past them. So go ahead and make either a athletics or acrobatics check, and I'll roll an athletics check for my
All
chef.
right.
Boo. These chefs need to stir more pots.
19.
Big lumbering goon arms reach out to try and grab onto you, and they just like whiff as you slip past them.
She's just gonna wink with her like silvery eyes, just like
Right.
make sure that there's light that glints in them and winks over at them.
The one-eyed goon that looks back at you doesn't wink. And so you make it over there. Blrrk is completely distracted by this person finally paying respects to the Oda Ooze. And so you can run right past him and not have a problem. You see that the judges start to, like, once they realize that you're not a chef and they're not in danger from you, or at least they don't think so, they start to like wriggle and move, and their mouths are gagged, but you can hear them like, help us, like mumble underneath. This stuff is rancid. And for the first time in the sewer, you smell bad smell coming from the big vats of Oda Ooze. All right.
Not good.
A pseudopod reaches out and wraps around Kevius, or attempts to wrap around Kevius, and they're going to pull towards. They're going to pull you towards them. You do anything about it?
Letting it happen. I'm here for the ride.
Okay. The pseudopod reaches around you, starts to drag you slowly over, and the cube turns into a rhombus as it leans forward in its chair. Little geometry comedy for you. Leans forward and pulls you by the tabard and looks and then the voice just kind of resonates out from inside of the cube. Again, the mouth doesn't move, but this voice comes out and says, "So, how was it?"
I can honestly say, never had wine quite like this. I have questions I want to ask about it. Just to get some clarifying things so I can truly digest what I have consumed. I do like the cinnamon. That's a very good touch.
That was my choice.
It's a good choice.
I think you need to have another swig. And another pseudopod grabs the bottle from you and starts to lift it up over your head. We'll deal with that on your next turn.
Sure.
Yeah, suddenly a lot of pseudopods are coming out with an infinite number, it seems. All right. Who's still standing near the doorway? It's Traven and Malasha. You are still nearish there. Okay.
Yeah.
The chefs are only armed with brooms, so they drop them and just go to their meat hooks instead, meaning their hands, of course. And so they're just going to take a couple of swings at. One's going to try and grapple you, Traven, and the other one's just going to try and punch you. And the same thing's going to happen to Malasha. We'll see how it goes. So if you don't mind, Traven, rolling me an athletics or acrobatics roll.
Acrobatics. All right, rolling.
All right. Yeah. Let me know what your total is.
Well, a 4.
Oof.
It's like, oof.
So one of the chefs, this is a more limber looking, like a gymnastics build kind of hobgoblin that's a woman that grabs around you and says, this kind of growls at you. And the other one's going to take a swing. These aren't clever fighters by a stretch. Does an 18 hit you against your armor class?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have mage armor?
Yes,
I think I give you mage armor. Okay. We'll just say I'll just change your sheet here to say that you have it on all the time because it's just assumed. I think that most wizards worth their salt. So you have a 13. Okay, so it hits you. Fortunately, it's just a fist, and so it doesn't do a lot of damage, but it does a little. It does 3 points of punch damage to you.
Good deal.
The one that punches you says, "Wizard robes. We don't like wizards around here." For reasons. All right, the other thing's gonna happen.
Ooh, magic.
the other one's going to try and grab. There's the other two that just got up for the table, Malasha. One's going to try and grab you. That is a dirty 20 that you have to beat on their athletics check.
I mean, shoot. Sorry, I forgot. That is a 19.
Oh, you hate to see it.
Damn it.
You get grappled too. And the goon chef that gets you says, "That's a nice ring. I hope that Blrrk gives it to me." And then the other one takes a little punchy at you. They're all a little punchy around here, as you know. Okay, that's a 15.
That is my AC. Yep.
Okay, so you take 3 punch damage as well. All right, Traven. You're not grappled in any kind of complicated way, so your hands are free to cast spells and things if you want to do that.
Indeed. Do they still have brooms or the hooks on them?
They drop their runes. Oh, and I was referring to their hands as meat hooks.
Their hands.
Yeah.
Have hooks, so it's like, would it get affected by electricity or something like that?
They do have armor and stuff on. I don't know if that's something that matters to you.
Yeah. So I want to do, I think it's a free action, Dragon's Breath, and I can pick an element. It's a bonus action.
Okay. Yeah, it is a bonus action. So are you giving yourself Dragon's Breath?
Yeah, I'm gonna give myself Dragon's Breath, and I want to give myself Lightning. So to those in the immediate area, I'm hoping that it conducts and shocks them for what they have.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Let me just grab Dragon's Breath here. You're casting it at 2nd level?
Yep.
Alrighty. It's a cone or straight? It's a cone, probably. Yeah. Okay. All right. You can get all 3 of the ones that are standing in front of you that aren't grappling you, but you'll also potentially hit Malasha, or you could just hit the one that's in front of you.
Ooh, I'll hit the one in front of me.
Okay. So go ahead. Oh no, I'm making a dex save here.
It is
feeling that the rolls
dex
are gonna
14, I believe.
Yeah. Should have used higher level guys. Oh, they got a 16, so I think they're taking half damage from it. So go ahead and roll 3d6. You should be able to click on it, and then we'll cut that in half.
3d6 rolling.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, 7.
A 7. Okay, wow. That's not great on those dice, but that's fine. They take 3 lightning damage, and for a minute you see their skeleton. That's how it works.
That cartoon effect.
Exactly. Yeah.
Would that be my full action? My chance? But that was that bonus.
You casting it was your bonus action, and then you use your action to, I think,
to shoot the Dragon's Breath, or
until your creature can use an action. Yes. So you'd have to use your action to do it. But now you have it on. You can do it every turn.
Okay, good deal.
For a minute or something. Yeah. Alrighty. Do you want to? You're bound up, so you can't, or not bound up, but you're grappled, so you can't really move right now. But we'll say the chef goon in front of you has a lot less interest in punching you right now because their skeleton's out. All right, Malasha.
All right. I am grappled. I will turn my body as best I can to the one that is holding on to me. Mm-hmm. Shooting a bow, it would be at disadvantage. Is that right? Because they're right next to me.
Oh yeah, and I mean they're holding on to you. Give me an acrobatics roll to do that. Like, I don't know if you ever picked up a hamster and they've like turned around in their own skin to bite you, but that's what I feel is happening right now.
Yeah.
Sorry for that weird hamster body horror image, but it's also
dirty
true.
20.
Oh wow. Okay. I'll do a quick strength check, but I don't think it's going to happen. Yeah. All right. So you managed to twist around enough so you can make a disadvantaged attack.
Okay, this is going to be a lot of rolling because it's 5 arrows that I'm shooting. The first one's definitely going to miss because that was a 2. The second one is a 17. Does a 17 hit?
Yeah, you realize that they've got some kind of metal underneath. It's almost like you can see a little bit, and they're wearing like iron plates underneath, like an old Western, you know. But it does. 17 does hit narrowly.
Okay. So 2 have hit so far. Nat 20, but it's at disadvantage. 3. Okay, so 3 of my arrows out of the 5 will pierce their armor, dealing.
These poor goons. They just wanted to cook things.
So that's 30. Wait, 22 plus 9 is 31.
Wow.
Yes.
Mhm.
31 piercing damage as my arrows fly from my hand, and I just draw again. And I say, "You want to mess with me? You better let me go."
Right. So point blank, a bunch of arrows made of fey light shoot out of the end of the ring bow and just like right into the chest of this chef, who stumbles back. You have to say those jokes out loud, Paladin. That's good. Paladin made an excellent dad joke in the. I hope you get a chance to do it out loud. All right, so I'll make an opening. So yeah, and they disappear as soon as they land, but little droplets of cherry filling start to drip down the front of the chef, and I'm assuming you're not doing non-lethal damage at this point, right?
No, I would not be.
Okay. There is a bit of more of those Frodo don't wear the ring noises, and the bowls in the ghostly form of bowls and ripples a little bit. It almost looks like a smile as it moves. Okay. They back up with their arms up. Obviously, they're
Still
not looking
standing?
great.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, that's great. And as a bonus action, I will use Slayer's Prey on Blrrk as well.
What does that do?
It just gives me an extra d6 of damage once per turn.
Okay, so you've activated another thingy
Yeah.
that you're
I'm
going to
just
do to poor Blurky.
Banking all of my damage on him, yeah.
Okay. Kevius, you're up. So on the bottle has been swiped from you, and it's Blrk is smiling, and he got the bottle hanging over you, and another one of those drops has started to like drip out of it to land on into your mesh face.
If you don't want to be disqualified, you're going to let go of my tabard and give the bottle back. I have questions that must be asked, and you're not behaving like a participant should be.
Is this persuasion or deception?
I feel like if someone at an actual wine competition grabbed a judge by the front of their clothing, they would be disqualified. So I'm saying this with full persuasion, hopefully.
Sure. Yeah. This blob doesn't know the rules. So go ahead and make a persuasion roll.
25.
Nice.
The drop is like hanging when Blrk tips it back and hands it to you, and a couple of other the pseudopod that's holding you lets go. Another couple of pseudopods come out and do like the dusting you off kind of thing, straighten out your coat and put you down. But he's still a rhombus leaning towards you and says, "I'm listening."
Thank you. Now, what have you placed in your wine?
I think at this point, maybe a bunch of pseudopods go out to kind of like pull the chefs back, and we'll drop out of combat, I think, maybe at this point. Wait, you gotta behave around these folks. They're from the competition. What's in it?
Mm-hmm.
I put my heart and soul in it. But since I don't have either of those, it's just my goop.
Mm.
Cinnamon.
And cinnamon.
For taste.
Did you properly let it ferment?
It sits in them vats, and he gestures over to the vats. It's been there for days. It stinks real good.
Some of the best wines take many, many decades to make.
Mine moves fast.
Do you want it to be the best though? The best that it could be? You don't want to have it judged by amateur standards. You want to judge by your better standards. Yes?
Make a persuasion check at disadvantage.
Sure thing, I say, panicking.
So
That is-
okay, go ahead and roll. Sorry, what was the total?
That is going to be a wonderful 18.
Okay. So the chefs have been pulled off. They're still trying to get at you. They don't understand what's going on, but I'll let Traven, Moxie, and Malasha take an action or do something if there's something that you would like to do. But like all of Blrrk's attention is on Kevius.
This
go
might be a stretch, but prestidigitation. I don't know.
Prestidigitation, yeah.
Yes, prestidigitation. Is there a chance I could cast that on his wine he's storing to make it something good? Because I know one of the things says you can change the flavor.
You can flavor it. Yes.
So can I flavor his wine to be at least decent for a while?
Sure. Yeah.
We'll say, hey, it's flavored.
You're gonna go over and be like, it just needs one thing or something like that.
It just needs one thing, help from someone else.
All right, I'll need if you say something like that, I'll need a persuasion check from you.
Okay.
To see if Blrrk puts up with that idea.
You can say the power of friendship. Have others help you make it. Oh no. Okay, so I have a 7.
Blrrk starts to get agitated, and a pseudopod slurps over to you. And just is more the finger pointing in the chest kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, "It's perfect the way it is. It's got the cinnamon. It's fine. Don't touch."
While its attention is focused on Traven, I'm gonna use a channel divinity.
Okay.
For Emissary of Peace.
Okay.
Which gives me a +5 on all my charisma persuasion checks for the next 10 minutes.
Okay. A little glow comes over you, and you're a little more likable.
Yeah.
All right.
I think Moxie is going to.
Yeah, sorry. We'll go to Moxie and Malasha first. Go ahead.
Sorry.
Moxie's going to take an opportunity to just sort of hide behind one of the cauldrons, and when she comes back, she's going to be in the image of Chef Eclair. She's using disguise self.
Oh wow! Okay.
And she's going to start bossing around the cooks, the chefs.
Love it. That just starts working. The goons are like, "Where'd you come from, boss?" Yeah, we're sweeping, or whatever it is. I don't know what you say.
Yeah, she's gonna actually get them to take the judges down.
Oh yeah. And they come over and start pulling it down, cutting them down. Blrrk is still laser focused on Traven now. And Malasha?
Chef Eclair, this one I need you to do some special attention to. He's been very, very rude to me. And I'm pointing at the one that's bleeding at the chest.
Yeah, almost the one that's almost dead. He didn't die completely. That's very rude. They're like, there's nothing you could do to me that'd be worse than what just happened. But they slink over to where you are, Moxie, waiting for orders.
All right. She's gonna grab him by the ear, and I guess she's gonna drag him over to where the portcullis is, so out of sight, and then she'll motion over for Malasha to come over and then let her deal with.
Oh no!
Oh God! Hell yeah! I do it.
I mentioned the Frodo don't wear the ring noises, right? All right.
Moxie knows the deal.
Do I have time to go over there?
Oh, I'm not even gonna have you roll. If you want, whatever you want to do. Yeah. Oh my God. For those watching at home, Bolzen is a cursed and haunted and very hungry magical bow that turns whoever has it into a murderer, or like encourages them. It encourages their murderousness, I guess. And Char really wanted it, so I gave it to her for some, gave it to them for some reason. I guess I'm a good DM. Let that word get out.
Exactly. Yes.
All right, Kevius, you've started to glow with this sort of friendly light. It ripples through the ooze of the light that comes off you, ripples through Blrrk's murky green goop, and it pings, bounces off the red gem that floats inside of him. And his attention wobbles back to you.
If you want this in the competitions, you have to give it more time to become its fuller self, yes?
I want to be legitimate businessman. I want my wine on shelves in all the restaurants. Is that so much to ask?
It's not. But you have to make sure that other people can truly appreciate. You got to give it the time it needs. Have you always been this powerful? Or did you grow?
Has no expression, but he doesn't answer because he doesn't want to admit that he was ever not strong.
You may have started out strong, but in time you grow stronger, yes?
And stinkier, like the wine.
Yes. You have to let it grow strong just like you.
Make your persuasion check.
Woo! Woo! That is a 27.
Holy crap!
That's great.
Woo!
Wobbles back and forth in thought. And he says, looks around the room and says, anyone else want to try? Starts to like grab bottles on the house.
Have you tried your own wine yet?
I am my own wine.
But you didn't try it.
He grabs a bottle, just dumps it onto his head. The goop comes out, slaps on top of the cube, and then just forms into it. And he grows flavor? And now there's a cinnamon stick that drifts down a little bit and just gets stuck.
Point taken. I was gonna say, can we change the flavor to maybe something he wouldn't like? Could I give a roll on that?
Sure. As it's pouring out, you want to turn it to something gross?
Yes, something that'd be gross for him.
There's like empty pie tins and stuff around, so he's like willing to eat almost anything. So
since it's gross and he likes that, can I make it something good?
Sure.
And I guess my logic for knowing what's good is, remember we read all those papers and recipes? Can I transform it to this really good flavor?
Okay.
Wine from that.
Do you have something in mind, or?
I forgot the name of that pastry, but what we said earlier. What was one of the pastries? I wanted that flavored wine.
The Pandowdy.
Let's go with the Pandowdy wine.
Okay, all right.
A signature.
Right. So the ooze turns to this kind of like sorry, Kevius, you mentioned Pandowdy. It's like a filling. It's got filling to it or something.
A Pandowdy is kind of like a cobbler, but the crust is a lot chunkier and flakier.
Okay.
It's just one solid crust that the juices from the fruit inside seep into it, creating like kind of like a crusty kind of thing.
Man, that sounds really good. So that starts pouring out of the end of the wine bottle and spills onto him. And for a minute, he starts to gyrate and agitate. And he, like shaking, he looks at the bottle. And then he says, maybe it should wait a little longer. And tosses the bottle across the room. He reaches out and he grabs onto Traven and he grabs onto Kevius, he grabs onto Moxie. Oh no, Moxie, Malasha, you're off. assassinating a person in the
shadows.
dark. Yeah. Oh, D&D players.
I like this, like, have the party in the shadows. Have the party. Ah!
I'll say Traven and Kevius, you're pulled in, and it says, my chef says there's something called a participation trophy.
Oh, yes, there definitely is.
I
You know-
want one of them
You know
Big.
what?
from my wall.
We'll make sure to get that for you.
And then he just shoves you back and starts grabbing a few more bottles of eau de ooze, and it's just like someone who's getting ready to usher you out the door starts filling your arms with gifts. And just as a bunch of them come, and then another bunch go, and he's like, for your pals, wherever they went, and starts filling you up with more. Now you've got each have 8 bottles of eau de ooze in your arms, but then pseudopods start pushing you towards the portcullis.
Thank you very much. And
See you next year.
Hey,
Indeed.
indeed, next year.
Yeah.
Also, put some aside. Give it like 10, 20 years. Just see what happens. Yeah? You can always make more.
40, 50.
100.
Spice it up a little bit.
Millennia.
Oh, I ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, you got all the time in the world.
Yeah, time. He doesn't have a concept of that, so he just says time and and leans back, saying, just thinking about it, in his throne. Moxie, presumably you've moved the guards or the judges somewhere safe. Maybe not where they saw someone get murdered in cold blood. In a dark fruit-scented sewer.
Yeah.
And you start making your way. You gotta have a little bit of that in here. I mean, it's whatever. So you start making your way back up, and up at the top of the stairs, holding their head, is Moxie. Are you still disguised?
I'm gonna say, yeah.
All right. At the top of the stairs is the actual Chef Eclair. And they've got like a bag of ice, and they're holding on their head, and behind them is everyone's come back, and they're still preparing food and doing things. And they look down, they point, and they look down, and they say, you, me, you. Where's the one that hit me with the wine?
Okay, I'm not there right now.
Well, no, you are coming up the stairs, I'll assume.
Okay.
We're just tying a bow on your interaction with Eclair here, but we'll say Moxie is leading. I don't know.
I think Moxie's gonna put her hand on his shoulder and say, we had a spill in the kitchen. Whatever you thought happened didn't actually happen.
You still look like him in this weird fever dream moments?
Yep.
Okay.
And
We
then
just had a
she's-
spill.
That's great.
And then she's gonna wave her hand over his eyes, drop the spell, and then when she pulls away, it's Moxie standing in front of him.
Eclair blinks and says, okay. All right. Blrrk is right. I need to take some vacation time. And they stumble over to sort of a stool in the middle, and just like sit down as the 4 of you and your saved judges are able to move by. The last person you see is the little halfling who comes over and says, we still got our jobs?
Yes, you do indeed.
Don't you worry.
Just make sure he gets some type of trophy from you all each year. Get Eclair to do it.
Hey, can I ask a small favor? Just one small favor.
Who are you asking a small favor from? No.
The halfling. The halfling.
No, I know they're upset because you said a small favor. It's more size, geometry, humor. I'm sorry. Okay.
Listen. I had some of the wine. If you have any like
Wait. You drank some of the eau de ooze?
Yeah. Do you have
I s-
anything sweet
I
that
saw
can, like,
Pete eat a rock once, and I thought that was something.
yeah, it doesn't taste good. Do you have anything like sweet I can eat? It's like it's invasive. The taste is invasive. I need anything to eat right now.
Well, I'm making the. I think it's a soup. I could get you a bowl.
Please, thank you.
And she goes around, starts serving up the soup for everybody. And maybe you join the chefs in the kitchen around their table for their lunchtime break. These goons ain't so bad after all. And maybe that's where we'll call it for this evening, as we're getting a little closer to the 8 o'clock. There you go. You had it, your first encounter with King Blrrk. Yeah, a lot of the stuff that I described is written in the wonderful booklet that you could get for free. So please go and check it out. We're gonna go around and maybe do like favorite moments, and you can give us all a little spiel about yourselves, please, my wonderful cast. But I'll start with myself because we're gonna start with Paladin because it's the reverse order this time. It's gonna end with me. He can be taught. All right. But I will say before we wrap up, thanks to everyone who's been watching. And if you had a chance to go and check out the Ennies and check out our the free books, free RPG Day book, please, the Wakeworm's Fury. It's very good, very interesting story. Bunch of pre-made characters, all from the Humblewood world. It's everything you need other than some dice to play. So yeah, go check it out. And if you like it, give it a little on the Ennies. That's the sound, I think. So yeah, close enough. So we're gonna go around to all of my guests. Thank you for playing. Thank you for joining us for our first Big Bad broadcast. And we'll start with Kevius, aka Paladin.
Hi there. I'm Paladin. I'm trying to picture just like what that thing would taste like. By the way, pork rinds don't rot; they just petrify more.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know if I feel better or worse about that.
They just become infinitely harder with each passing year.
Right. Okay. Well, that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Do I say what I do, or is that
is
good?
this? Are these going to be the? Yeah. Is this going to be the last thing you say?
Pork rind information.
Yeah. Well, I
Hey,
mean, if you could give us 3 more pork rind facts, then I think we'll be happy. No.
Okay.
No.
Pork rind fact number 1. Hi, I'm the co-director of the Islands of Sina Una. It's available on Hit Point Press's website as well.
Mhm.
If you're interested about pre-colonial Filipino culture and mythology,
A
it's all in that
beautiful and
book.
hefty book.
It is so big and thick. It's like 2 players' handbooks in size and 4 players' handbooks in weight. It's massive and I love it. You can find me on Twitter, where I talk a lot about the industry and what I see online. And you can find me on Instagram, but why would you do that? I don't do anything there. And then it goes to who is next in reverse order. Charlene?
It's me. Hey, everybody. I'm Char. I'm the DM of Tabletop Titties. Right now, we are going through Hit Point Press's Heckna module because I backed the Kickstarter. We are live on Twitch every Tuesday at 7 p.m. PST. So tonight, if you have something to do or don't have something to do, come watch us play some Heckna. Spooky carnival fun times. It's an amazing module. Super fun. Otherwise, you can find me on Twitter at Charlene Bayer. I'd love to see you around.
All right. Thanks, Char. Thanks for joining us. I got this one. I think it's Dave next.
Sure. Well, hey, everybody. My name is Data Dave. Catchphrase is Day to Day with Data Dave because I stream almost every day. But the thing is, I'm a Twitch streamer, voice actor, and professor, which is the random side fact on that. But what I stream on Twitch, I love story mode-based games, going through different narratives, and I like MOBAs, so Pokemon Unite's been a very, very fun addiction recently. So, it's always fun to be a part. You can join the database. That's what we call ourselves as we play different games. And yeah, did we get to share a favorite moment?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. We should all, if you've got a favorite moment, I hope you have at least one. I'd like to hear it, yeah.
I'm a big X-Men fan. If anybody else couldn't tell from the Quicksilver, like, ooh, could I say I'll do this with haste? So I was really glad I got that ability. So that's my favorite moment, being like, hey, I can just pop around.
I'll have to think of another one because that was going to be my favorite because I did enjoy that very much.
I love that. Just picturing that because I'm like, fam, I love Quicksilver. So that'd be my favorite moment.
We could go back just to Chart. Have you got a favorite moment?
Oh man, getting to use Bolzan was great. Love that. Glowing invisible bow. But otherwise, I really loved watching Kevius talk his way out of this battle. That was really great. Really great.
Yep. Social encounter with a giant blob. It
Yeah.
can happen. Kevius, you had a favorite moment? Sorry, Paladin.
My favorite moment?
Yeah.
I honestly just like walking up to a chef and just knocking him out with a wine carafe.
Smiting him with a wine carafe. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, I'd say, a little excessive, but it was non-lethal, so you're fine. Awesome. And then last but not least, we got Kat.
I'm Kat Kruger. I'm the DM at D20 Dames, which is a family-friendly, predominantly POC, actual play D&D podcast. I also am a freelance game designer at my company Steampunk Unicorn Studio, and I've worked with Hit Point Press to make a big bad named Shen, which was awesome. I've also done some work with Hasbro, Avalon Hill. My latest is the Nerds and D&D collaboration. So I wrote the adventures for that, which come out in September.
Nice.
You can find me online at Kat Kruger or at steampunkunicornstudio.com. And my favorite moment was I really loved when Malasha described the bow. That was really cool.
Thanks.
I want that.
I think oh no, now I'm in trouble because that big bad is
Skula.
That's right. That is a really terrifying big bad, and yeah, I think it's up on our site as well, so please go and check it out. Thank you, everybody. I'm Jordan. At Hit Point Press, I'm the content team lead. Basically, I just make sure that our stories are funny and interesting and help move them along. I am also available to chat with on Twitter at Made of Cartoons. Every once in a while, I tweet on there. And you can also check out, of course, Hit Point Press at Hit Point Press. You'll see that in the chat. I want to put a special thanks out to Jess, go_JG, our producer for this show and hopefully a few more. They've been behind the scenes making sure that everything has been running smoothly and have been a massive asset. And then I want to thank my other teammates on this, Allie and Emily. Allie did a lot of helped a lot with the graphic design and getting the promotion stuff ready, and Emily's just been co-running this project with me. They've been behind the scenes pulling strings and stuff as well, so I just want to say thank you. I think this one went really well, our first one, so I'm really thrilled. And of course, all of Hit Point Press for letting us do a little stream and show up some big bads. So I think without further ado, my favorite moment, and I won't take the haste one because it was already done. I think I like the scenes where you're all making the little halfling woman sweat, and kind of making her just admit to everything. That was fun. I really like that. So I'm glad you all went along with the fun kind of social stuff that I had planned for y'all. Okay, we don't have an official sign off or anything, so I'm just gonna say thank you everybody for tuning in to our first Big Bad broadcast, and we hope to see you again soon. All right. Bye.
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 We love you. Bye-bye.